Okay, class. So today we're going to be solving equations, but we're also going to be using the skills that we learned in our last unit. So just recall in our last unit when we multiplied two polynomials, in this case the 3, a monomial, times the binomial, 2x minus 7, we have to multiply the 3 by the 2x and also the 3 by the minus 7. So the first multiplication would be 6x. The second multiplication would be negative 21. That's what we're going to be doing today as we solve polynomials. So the first thing we want to do is use our distribution law to multiply and get rid of the brackets. So let's do that for question 1. Multiply in, and our brackets are gone. So that's what we learned last unit. Now we're going to go and solve. So this plus 10, we can move it to the other side by minusing 10, both sides. 2x equals 10. And then we divide by 2, x equals 5. Your work must be those three lines. So you must have that as your work, absolutely must. The minus 10 part, that's a little bit optional. Okay, I can see that I moved 10 to the other side by the two changes that occurred in that line. But you're welcome to write it. I know kids taking Calculus 12, 100% geniuses, they still write it. Even I like to write it sometimes just for me to help track my work and what I've done. But your option. Number 2 then, so same thing, we're multiplying to get rid of our brackets. So the negative 9 doesn't change. It equals 3 times 2, 3 times negative x. Good. So now we'll move 6 to the other side. Always look in front to decide what to do. That is a plus 6. There's a plus sign that doesn't need to be written. So the opposite is minus 6. And so we get negative 15 equals negative 3x. And how do we get rid of negative 3 times x? You're right, divide by negative 3. So you can see on this one, I showed a lot of work. Comparing numbers 1 and 2, it's optional. The bare minimum amount of work that you want to show are these 3 lines. Okay, so those 3 lines are what you're looking at. Continuing on, next question. So now question 3 is very typical. You have to multiply in both sides. But the question's kind of broken into 2. So I only multiply 4 by the very first set of brackets. And I get 8x minus 36. And then the equal sign, notice again, you're lining up vertically to help you track your work. I multiply the 7 by this set of brackets. Negative 14 minus 14x. Good. So you can move the 8x over or the negative 14x over, your choice. I'm just going to flip a coin and negative 14 popped up. So I'm going to move 14x first. And so I do the opposite of minus. I add. I get the 22x minus 36 equals negative 14. I don't recommend you moving more than one thing at once because we tend to lose track and forget what we've done, and it's easy to make sign errors. So I recommend not to. Opposite of minus 36, add 36, and I get 22x. Oops, my 22s are looking funny. Equals 22. And now what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to divide by 22. And so I get x equals 1. Final answer. So, big thing for today was multiply, get rid of your brackets, multiply, get rid of your brackets. Let's do that. A few more harder questions. So now we're going to solve and check. First part, solving. So the 5 multiplies into the set of brackets, which is right here. And we get 10x minus 15 plus 6 equals negative 35 minus 3x. You can move the 10x or you can move the 3x. Totally your choice. I'm going to move the minus 3x over. So I add 3x. And then I get 13x. Ooh, before I do that, what should I do? Bad, Mr. Barker. I should collect like terms. So I'm going to combine those together. So 10x minus 9 equals negative 35 minus 3x. Now I can collect like terms. So I did collect like terms. Move the negative 3x by doing the opposite. So I get 13x. 13x minus 9 equals negative 35. Move the 9 over by adding, so negative 26. And then I'm going to divide by 13, so x equals negative 2. Now I think that's the answer, but I'm not sure. Got to do a check. The check will tell me. So I substitute negative 2 into the original question, those two locations for my x's. So I rewrite the original, 5 times 2x minus 3 plus 6 equals negative 35 minus 3x. And again, this is when I'm doing my check to see if negative 2 is the correct answer. Good. So I substitute in. I can do it now, or I can multiply. I feel like doing it now. 2 times negative 2 minus 3 plus 6. Great wall of check. Negative 35 minus 3 times negative 2. Okay. So here I can get 5 times negative 4 minus 3 plus 6. 5 times negative 7 plus 6. Negative 35 plus 6, and I'm going to get negative 29. Next side, negative 35 plus 6. Oh, look at that. Left side equals right side. So what is check? What does that mean? This means that x equals negative 2. It means that is the correct answer. Okay, next question. Solve and check. So I'm going to multiply in. So I'm going to multiply here. We get 4m minus 8. Ooh, subtraction. Ooh, boom, 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 boom. Look out. How do I subtract correctly? Well, I got to fix the signs in here. Another way to look at this is looking at this as if this is a negative 1, and you have to multiply that into both parts. And so that just becomes the opposite like we learned last unit. And so my signs change here from a plus 3 to a minus 3, and from a plus m to a minus m. Okay. Good, collect like terms now. Always multiply first, then collect like terms. 3m minus 11 equals m minus 1. I'll move my m over. 2m minus 11 equals negative 1. 2m equals 10. So I'm moving my 11 over. M equals 2. My bad, m equals 5. So that's the bare minimum of work. I didn't show everything I did, but I showed enough that at each line, you know what I did because of the change from above. So let me write down my work in case you didn't realize it. Here I went minus m plus 11 plus 11, divide by 2, divide by 2. Okay, so you can start showing a little bit less work. Now I got to do my check, so I'm going to substitute into the original. 4 times m minus 2 minus m plus 3 equals m minus 1. And great wall of check. I substitute in 5. Always use brackets when I substitute. And sometimes you're going to get these double brackets. It's okay. You can handle it. So we're going to get 4 times 3 minus 8. 12 minus 8. And I get 4 as my answer. Oh, and look on the other side. I get 4 as my answer. Left side equals right side. What does that mean? Well, it's the check. It means that m equals 5. It means my solution was correct because left side equals right side. It's balanced. Okay, we got 2 more questions to go. Try this yourself, then watch. Multiply in, get rid of your brackets. Here, multiplying by -3. Really important to include that sign, and your signs change. Multiply in. Good. Don't move things across the equal sign yet. Let's simplify, collect like terms. So we had 15 minus 6x equals -2x plus 10. Now, if you want to write 10 minus 2x, you can. Okay? Your choice there. In fact, I think I might even write that as well, just so it keeps a similar format to the other side. Good. So I can move the 10, I can move whatever I want to first. You decide, but move one thing at a time, please. I'm going to decide to move my 6x. So I will get 15 equals 10 plus 4x. Then I'll move my 10 over, 5 equals 4x. Then I'll divide by 4, so x equals 5 divided by 4. It's a little weird that you have a fraction, but I'm going to go double check and see if I showed my work properly. I went plus 6x, plus 6x, that works. I then went minus 10, minus 10, that worked. Divide by 4, divide by 4. Yep, that's the correct answer. Okay, a little bit rare. Once in a while you'll get that because questions are tough to make up. But usually in your homework you won't because they spent a lot of time making those questions up. Okay, so keep that in mind. But double check your work just in case. Good, tough one here. Right away, what's the trick? What's the part where you're probably going to make a mistake? I'll highlight it for you. Right here. If you forget to fix that sign or multiply in by a -1, you will not get the correct answers. You have to remember that subtraction signs make you stop and pay attention and fix your signs. Okay? So now that I have the correct signs, my brackets are gone, I can go and plus 3x, multiply, remove all the rest of the brackets. Okay, see how much stuff there is? Simplify it. Collect like terms first. So I'm going to get 7x plus 2 equals 8x plus 10. Now it's really simple. They're all going to go to this very simple format, and then you can start moving things across the equal sign. So I'll move my 7x over and get 2 equals 1x plus 10. Move the 10 over, -8 equals x. And there you have it. Done. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. One thing to really watch out for, this is what's going to mess you up. If you are not fixing your signs here correctly when you have a subtraction, you won't get the correct answers. All right. Good luck with your homework.